completely. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this NGS Div D East match between LuBu and Minnesota Lost Vikings. I'm here, as always, with Broiled Beef. Hello, Broiled Beef.
Hello.
And we're going to be going to Dragonshire to start this off. Our map bans. LuBu banned out Braxis, and Minnesota Lost Vikings banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen. So this is LuBu's map choice here for Dragonshire, which means we'll be seeing first hero ban and pick from Minnesota Lost Vikings, wearing the blue for tonight's match. LuBu will be in the red. Oh, I add that backwards. LuBu's in the blue. Yeah, Minnesota Lost Vikings in the red. Maybe I didn't have that backwards. I'm all twisted and turned, Beef.
Yes, you are. But you were right. You got it right.
I was right. If you're going to be twisted and turned, might as well be right at the same time. So, what do you think of these first two bands?
Oh, Garrosh, not surprised. Kel'Thas is kind of... I think that's a good band, but it's a super usual. With the recent buffs to Living Bomb and the Flame Strike, pretty understandable. It does a lot of damage. There's a lot of free damage too, unless you want to hop on them and try and punish them for getting Living Bomb off.
Mm-hmm. Garrosh still bannable. Yrel. Pretty annoying capabilities from Yrel. Can jump in that backline, really be a force of disruption. So, bit of a warrior choke here. 3 warriors banned. As we go into the first rotation out of Minnesota Lost Vikings. Any predictions here?
Oh. I asked you too late.
And there you go. Called it.
Because if you get rid of Yrel, you want to be on Dahaka. Because then that's like the second character that's nigh unkillable at top lane. Like, you would need quite a coordinated effort to kill that one character due to their ridiculous self-sustain.
LuBu seems to have gotten what they wanted with that top lane, shaping that top lane with their ban in that first pick. Artanis, good on this map as well. Mercs do play a role. Zagara. It's our first Zagara game of Season 5 in our casts. And Lili. Lili's kind of a sleeper hero, I think. She has a pretty decent win rate, nice healing output. She has a cleanse of sorts.
To really get full value, though, you really need to assume the enemy's gonna have some kind of auto attack too, because a blind on a hero that doesn't like get their power from auto attacks is not super useful. I mean, it's the character's still a good healer after that, but full value, you need that auto attack blind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the Jaina pick, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that one. Just all around such a solid hero these days. And we have Anubarak and Phoenix with our final bans. LuBu just doesn't want to deal with all that CC. They got rid of a lot of CC and disruption with their ban strategy. Phoenix putting out those slows, putting out that damage, plus, you know, high pesky factor. Diablo Junkrat in that rotation.
I see the classic Diablo Jaina combo over on the side of LuBu.
Yeah, are we going to see the ring into APOC, or are we going to see the fire breath?
I want to call Ring APOC, but if I call it, then it's gonna be Lightning Breath.
All right, Stitches, and we have maybe 2 globals on the side of Minnesota Lost Vikings, depending on what Zagara does at level 10. She can go with that Nidus network and start popping up all over the map. Takes a little bit of effort. It's not an automatic global. You do have to build it a little bit. Final pick here. What's it gonna be? Rhaegar. All right, so you have Merc, you have Wave Clear, you have decent healing. So it seems to kick in a little bit later in the game. I like to use Healing Totem when I play Rhaegar quite a bit, but it takes some artful placement because you can kill that totem so easily. But I don't know. Any thoughts here on? Do you have a favorite?
I'm liking LuBu's team a bit more right now because it's just more of that conventional root and then damage. That's all it really is. With Minnesota Lost Vikings, they do a little bit of skirting around. They have a lot of swaps, a lot of displacement. So we have to assume that Artanis and Stitches can find their targets and separate them from the rest of Team LuBu and isolate and kill them. Because after that, I feel like LuBu's got a bit more of like a team fight potential, but Minnesota Lost Vikings are trying to get that uneven fight, that 4v5, and try and win that way. So it's really going to come down to those two heroes.
Yeah, it's hard for me to go against Jaina these days. I think I'm leaning LuBu ever so slightly. But speaking of LuBu, do you want to start calling out those names?
Absolutely. For Team LuBu, we have Rhaegar, played by Streakwing, Dahaka, played by Alan Hicks, Jaina, played by Bandit, Junkrat, played by VDZ, and Diablo, played by Macrotosh.
Macrota, I think.
Well, apparently he's an orc. He's a Macrotosh now.
Oh, okay. Beef doing some customization on the player names. I like it. Meanwhile, on Minnesota Lost Vikings, we have Falstad, played by Dirty Crowbar, Artanis, played by Banana Crankin, Stitches by Dagnirnum, and Lily, Nightmare Twee, Zagara, played by Tenuviel. Let me actually just like
10 seconds.
zoom out for everybody and get some talents pulled up here on the screen. If you see any interesting picks here, feel free to shout them out. Beef. As we get this started going. Okay.
Jaina took Winter's Reach, which is instead of the Frost Fingers, so that increased critical damage. So they're looking for more of like a poke from Jaina, it seems, as opposed to a like just pure blow up build.
Not sure what Rhaegar's going to pick at level 1. It's the last hero to choose a talent. We have some sprays coming out. Let's see if I see anything interesting here. Gathering Storm on Falstad. Going for that mage build with the hammer.
I think it's also interesting that Diablo went for that, was it Feast or Fear? So there isn't a self-sustain from Devil's Due.
Yeah, investing in that shadow charge. Alright, so initial dance here in the middle. Just tossing out some cooldowns here and there. Meanwhile, we have Artanis Tahaka top with Junkrat versus Zagara bot. Looks like Dirty Crowbar and Streakwing are looking at rotating down maybe, or they're just also keeping control of the information flow through that Bermuda Triangle, which is pretty important on this map. Dirty Crowbar's gonna...
So it looks like both teams are just kind of feeling each other out, waiting for that one to make a big mistake they can capitalize on, but until then they're just gonna casually throw snowballs at each other and probably with this objective. This objective will be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, we have a 2v2 starting up. Now a 3v2 as Macrota comes down. And they now have access to the dragon. Let's see what happens in middle here.
At top, we have Dahaka getting piled on by Falstad and Artanis. We'll get away with thanks to the self-help. But will they have to keep two people up there to contain it?
Junkrat seems to be doing pretty well holding off Zagara bot. Zagara's pretty low on resources. There's a 2v1 investment on the side of Minnesota Lost Vikings in top lane.
Well, the Vikings are coming in hot for that Zagara. Thanks to the Diablo charge and flip, could not get away. Jaina will take down Zagara for the first blood.
Good call, Beef. Minnesota lost Vikings. Still investing 2 in the middle here. LuBu responds in kind. Like Dahaka is retaking top. Banana Crankin tries for the swap, but does not connect, so he's going to have to just go in there in melee range.
Now, this is the fight I'm interested in, because I don't really know who beats who at this level. Because it's like, you got the damage from Artanis, we have the self-heal from Dahaka. Actually, that's like Artanis is doing that.
We have a 3v3 bot, so I left that interesting top lane matchup for this. Nice hook coming out on Streakwing, and that is going to result in a kill. Tenuvial seems perpetually low on health. That's one thing that Nidus Network can really help out with at 10.
Yeah, it's like the instant port back to well, get your resources and go somewhere else. Jaina just stepping, or Lily stepping up to Jaina. It's good to see. I like a support that's willing to go there and brawl a little bit too.
Top lane, we have Diablo charging on Banana Crankin. Tries to slide out.
Oh, Artanis! 100 health!
And it's Dahaka who dies there. Falstad getting the point.
Now such luck for Falstad though, as they will get collapsed down by the rest of LuBu. Oh man. Thread the needle there.
VDC jumps away with a mine. As Stitches was threatening. Now we have a 2v2 bot. Nice hook out on VDZ. The poke is real from Junkrat. Now Jane is here to help. But Stitches...
Rock at a hard place. He's certainly was going to walk out of that, so they want to make sure that you at least get some damage in, or maybe get some more Vile Gas out for you.
Nightmare Tweet trying to poke here to keep Diablo from taking the dragon's going to pay for it with their life. But
the lock
was saved.
The lockdown combo between Diablo push and flip, the totem from Rhaegar, and the slow from Jaina. That's a lot of control. That's so much to try and walk away from.
Streakwing and VDZ are going to march in here and take control of bottom shrine. LuBu also gets control of top shrine. We have 3 Minnesota Lost Vikings watching the capture point in the middle though.
Rhaegar dangerously low, but still hanging in there, trying to still do their duty.
VDZ looking to capture dragon. A really nice, dirty crowbar hammer thrown in, but that's the only delay.
Oh, Lily died a hero. Oh, God Swap not quite through the gate for Diablo. Artanis now having to contend with 3 of LuBu while they make their way to bottom fort.
Banana Crankin is probably not going to get out of this down to... Yep, that's it for Artanis. As the dragon continues to push with Junkrat piloting it in middle here.
Good call by Junkrat and that dragon to start taking the wells, because that's really where the source of team power comes from in these lanes. It's not really necessarily the towers.
Kick comes out on Stitches, doesn't go very far though. We have 3 members of LuBu pushing the gate while the dragon attracts a lot of attention just below there. Nice hook on Dahaka here, but is he going to be able to get away?
Well, everything comes out.
Ancestral.
Ring does catch 2 of them.
Stitches goes down. Junkrat getting the credit for that kill. Looks like top fort's going to go down to LuBu here. Minnesota Lost Vikings doesn't want to engage in a 5v4 situation. And Artanis has already rotated bot to work on the siege camp there. Falstad flies bot to catch that blob of soak.
So I noticed I was partially correct in saying that if I call APOC, they're going to go Lightning Breath. I went Lightning Breath.
There you go. You're on fire today, Beef. which sounds kind of funny as I say it. Any other level 10, any other ultimates you want to bring attention to here?
I'm not really seeing anything that surprises me.
I bet you like that gorge, though.
Network. Yeah, I'm really glad to see the gorge. I feel like that's like where Stitch gets the power. Poopy Pants is nice for controlling an area, but you can also, if your entire game plan is to kidnap someone, Gorge is like the king of that. I think the best ability in the game for kidnapping people.
Nothing much comes from that bottom lane tussle there. We do have Nidus Network coming out from Zagara. So an additional global power there. LuBu goes and takes their mercs, so we're going to have a tiny bit more pressure down here.
Stitch is fishing for that hook gorge combo, not quite finding any targets, doing a lot of guessing into the bushes there. Educated guesses, I should say.
Top lane taken by Falstad.
And that is the best target you could find in there. Got the Jaina. Will they get behind the gate? They will, despite their best efforts. But oh my goodness, will LuBu keep him alive through the combination?
That ring, the fire breath, and it ends up being a 2-0 in favor of LuBu. Another hook.
That is tragic.
Streakwing unfazed.
Yeah, Minnesota lost Vikings did everything right there too. They got the right target, they got it right behind the gate, but the combination of the Riptire, Blading Breath, and the ring was just too much for them to handle.
Dirty Crowbar valiantly trying to keep the capture from happening. Streakling goes to zone out. Bandit is going to take it. And that's
just Diablo and Stitches are just too thick to walk past each other.
LuBu's going to take the Dragon Knight to bot lane now. Piloted by Jaina. Falstad's staying top, getting that additional soak. LuBu is up 15-13 on experience levels. Out comes the blind from Artanis. And that fort's going to go down to LuBu. As Minnesota Vikings comes in with all 5 players. Mistook there. It's kind of a shot.
Jaina being really careful with this dragon. It's still at 75% health, but the timer is at maybe a quarter left, if even.
Yeah, that's pretty decent dragon management there. Looks like they're going to get 2 forts out of this. That's some decent value. Swap comes out on Diablo. He just charges away. The ring comes out. Fire breath.
Got some anti-synergy there between the Junkrat mine and the ring. And immediately blows the mine.
Whoops.
Womp womp. Rip indeed. Another fishing hook comes out, but won't find any targets. There's LuBu's now interested in the contested bruiser cap down there.
(16-13) in favor of LuBu. They're just going to keep painting this map their color. It happens to be blue in this game.
Artanis and Zagara really have their work cut out for them right now because they have so much laning trying to make up that experience because they really can't win any team fights this low down.
Minnesota lost Vikings picking up their bruiser camp. Put some of their own lane pressure out there. And Siege Camp taken on part of LuBu. Looks like they're going to go ahead and finish this off with the bruiser camp as well. While Minnesota lost Vikings just cleans house.
Now it's a game of catch-up. And LuBu's now at their 16s, and you really shouldn't be fighting without even 16 tier, so got a whole nother level for Lost Vikings to try and farm up before really try to contest these objectives. They are making concerted effort here to take down some tower, get some building XP.
I like this
LuBu,
move.
yeah, this is a good and aggressive. That's what you need to start really getting back. LuBu is collapsing though. Will they? Who can they find here? Artanis will get away. Thought we'd have like a slow ass antelope situation there.
Zagar having to do some cleanup top lane as LuBu took bottom shrine, and now they're moving into middle here. Minnesota Lost Vikings going to have to defend probably, and we do have a fight in the middle. Out comes the blind, out comes the Ring of Frost, Fire Breath. Stitches is going to lose his life. Riptire. Oh, the flip out of the Riptire. So unfortunate.
Junkrat can't catch a break with these abilities.
Highly entertaining for beef, though.
I know the pain. That's why it's funny to me. I've been there so many times.
Looks like Dragon is going to move up. I thought middle, but it looks like we're going to go bot lane instead. No bad choices for LuBu at this stage of the game. 18-16. Minnesota Lost Vikings so close to 16 that will put them on even talent tier, and then they can be a little more aggressive here in these fights. Looks like this keep is definitely a goner. Blind comes out. Swap
Lost
attempt
Vikings
on
are
Dahaka lands. Sorry?
Lost Vikings are super close to 16s, and there they are. So now they are on an even tier for the next half a level. So this is where they can come back. They can try and catch LuBu making a mistake, catch him slipping doing something. This is where they can come back and start getting the XP and maybe win a good team fight here.
The hook connects to no one, but the defense is solid here as the dragon retreats.
Back in the good old days when you can hook the dragon. They were
Oh,
simpler
yeah.
times.
Falstad seeing a Dahaka appear to harass a little bit. And it looks like we're going to go to a peaceful Merc phase. LuBu takes the siege camp.
And their 20s.
And yeah, good note here. Minnesota Lost Vikings finishing off their siege. There was the potential for an invade here, but wasn't quite fast enough from LuBu. Minnesota Lost Vikings are split here, but LuBu doesn't go in on either one of those sort of mini groups.
I noticed in terms of 20s, Diablo did take Lord of Terror. So they're really looking just to get in there and like be in the middle of everything.
Nice work. They're providing vision for their team from Banana Cranking, but the camp's already taken. I think Minnesota Lost Vikings are doing a pretty good job of staying safe here, just trying to catch up on XP, not giving any unnecessary deaths at this point. It is 15-2 on kills, though. It's unfortunate for Minnesota Lost Vikings.
Excellent find. Junkrat is capturing. Wills the Mind Be up to save their bacon. They will get them far away.
He gets out with 200 health, yeah.
Falstad looking for blood. Finds Junkrat. Excellent fly by Falstad on that one.
Out comes the ring, the gust. Diablo charges in on Banana Crank in here. Probably more as a escape than anything else.
It was a bit of a, it seems like miscommunication. Finds Dahaka. Excellent hook once again by Stitches.
Another displacement. Swat on Alan Hicks, and Alan
There
Hicks
it is.
on Dahaka.
That's exactly what I was talking about. They want to find those targets to separate them and get the kills, and they are starting to build back up. They're even down a talent tier, and they have LuBu on the run.
Yeah, that was a great
Top
sequence
camp also
for them.
pushing that forward.
Good point. Let's go take a peek at that. LuBu also noticing it right now. With Jaina, they might be able to save it. Such great wave clear there. And they do. Falstad's gonna jet up to top, capture that shrine, and
Will this be a Vikings dragon? It will. Wow.
18-minute dragon. It's gonna be pretty strong here. But are they gonna go top with it?
They want that. They want that XP. They gotta
That's a good
catch up, I
point.
guess.
That's a good point. Hook onto a mercenary there.
Minions that could.
That fort kill will bring Minnesota Lost Vikings within striking range of 20. They're about half a level away from that, but they're going to risk this bridge of death here. Dragon Knight's at about, what, 60%, 50% health now. This is a really risky avenue to take, wouldn't you say?
They have ring, they got lightning breath. This is looking...
Yeah,
Oh,
tight
baby.
confines.
Oh baby, oh baby.
Hook
Oh,
on.
Junkrat! Diablo sent to the moon, but won't be able to get anything out that Junkrat. That was like threading a needle there. That was an excellent shot.
Falstad doing a little bit of siege work in middle, meanwhile. All kinds of Junkrat stuff coming out.
It just is a Junkrat stay. Like they put one pinky toe in front of the tanks and immediately gets hooked.
Dragon Knight's at 1 HP, just about out of time as well. Artanis wants to keep moving forward here, though. We have 4 Minnesota Lost Vikings pushing in there, but they decide to retreat. And we have parity at level 20, both teams up there now. Oops. Camps being taken.
Was a little aggressive of Vikings to go after that fort. I'm sorry, the keep up top. After taking the fort, I thought they'd want to go like and start collecting their buildings that are even up the parity.
Yeah.
But they just want to go straight forward. They want them siege cannons going.
Hook on Diablo. What's that going to lead to? Lots of damage coming out. There's the swap.
They're going for it.
But displacement from Junkrat. Gust saving Artanis' life there, probably. Out comes the Riptire, getting some value, hitting 3 Vikings. The tongue. The ring will secure
Lily
that
is
kill.
spent. No big kills coming from Lily, unfortunately. Oh, the displaced became the displacer became the displaced.
Dun dun dun. LuBu's liking this bottom lane. They still have 3 ultimates on their side, including the Ancestral. Whereas Minnesota Lost Vikings, all they have is Nidus Network.
The shrines awaken once more.
Not really going to help him in a team fight so much, but
Dragon Knight's power.
LuBu decides to go ahead and back off.
Yeah, they're doing the smart thing here, if you ask me. They're not trying to get too antsy. They're not worried about having to win the game right now just because they made that one pick on Stitches. They're trying to just make sure they have it secure and make sure that everything they get is as much safe damage in, I should say, as they can without trying to that big risk go for the kill, core kill.
Yeah, at this point, one bad team fight can win the game. Or lose the game, I should say. One good team fight can win you the game. We're into the 22nd minute. 4 Minnesota Lost Vikings top lane. Stitches is clearing bot. LuBu's going to know that. I wonder how they'll respond to this split that they must be seeing. Dirty Crowbar and a little bit of positional trouble there. Takes a ton of damage. And will get picked.
Hello, Mom? Why are you at bot?
And that's going to go ahead and give the Dragon Knight to LuBu. This could very well be game for them if they play their cards right. It is 5v4 with a 22nd minute dragon. The long range hook into the gorge.
We're doing it. We're going for it.
Goes on the other side of the gate for zoning.
Oh, excellent!
Creative.
I've never seen that before.
Ancestral on Diablo, so that's used. Blind comes out on 3 of LuBu's team members here. Dragon is on the core though. It's down to 60%. Dragon's still really healthy. This should be GG for LuBu, and it is. Well played by both teams. GG. LuBu takes game 1.
That was a good game.
Dragonshire.
Vikings could have taken that over very easily. They were really showing some promise, especially with that one team fight at bottom.
Yeah.
Where they actually had LuBu on the run there, regardless of them being down a talent tier. They could have, if they had gotten another dragon, LuBu would have to start playing the defensive and start being the ones on catch up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great comeback. Full of possibility for Minnesota Lost Vikings, but it just wasn't to be. That Falstad death right at the end there was pretty punishing.
It might have been a bit of where's it hurt, man? Might have been a little miscommunication. You know, they want. Seems like Stitches wanted to go bot and play the more defensive route, make sure they cleared all the minions so they're not having free minions on core. Well, the rest of the team wanted to get there and scrap for top, maybe get another dragon, as the dragons are probably their best hope of winning those games.
Streakwing having a great game on that Rhaegar. 5, 10, and 1. Only 1 death. 64k healing. And Junkrat getting a lot of work done. 201k siege. 61k hero damage.
Despite a little womp womp there with the ults and the anti-synergy with the flips and such. Still did, highest siege, highest hero damage. What more do you want from your DPS?
All right, so it looks like we are going to Towers of Doom next. Let's go ahead and build that lobby.
You build that lobby.
You build it. Oh, you can't. You don't have the crown. Lucky you. Anything else stand out to you while I'm setting this up from
I was
game
going
1?
to throw some chat in here.
How about that Stitches play at the end? I wonder if we'll start seeing you do that in some games now.
I'll add
special situation, but
every day is a school day. Zyr, I'm gonna try and sign your name. Zirice Hot says that's actually a really cool Gorge play. It was. It's always about trying to pull people into your gates, let alone as opposed to kicking someone out so they have to walk all the way around. That is the first time I've ever seen that. And you catch me on camera again because I'm not paying attention.
yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. It's nice to see you, X-Rice, in chat, if we're saying that right.
Reading is hard work. Can you confirm?
Okay, this is going to be messy. Make sure our teams are in the correct. I didn't. All right. I guess we'll work it out.
One at a time.
Okay, so we can do banana for BDZ. And what were the other swaps? It's so crazy.
I think everyone on LuBu has the Falstead Carbot.
Okay, let's see if that looks good. This is strange. Why can't I make anyone captain? Oh, duh, 'cause I haven't set this part up.
We're not going to YOLO it? We're doing a draft? Okay, I go.
Free for all. Okay, Towers of Doom. This was Minnesota Lost Vikings map pick, I do believe. Which means
That's
LuBu
correct.
will get hero, ban, and pick first, so I think we're good. That was a really entertaining game one, though. It looked kind of desperate for Minnesota Lost Vikings, but what a great job to get back to that 20 parity, and it was anybody's game at that point. I think the biggest error was probably on the side of Minnesota Lost Vikings was possibly staying too long in that top lane when there was still lots of value to be had elsewhere. Maybe they just thought, hey, we're here, it's a keep.
Absolutely.
But, you know, that bridge, it's really tricky.
I get where they're coming from with that bridge play. Like, I know what they're thinking, but with those ultimates, I would not want to be on there because you're immediately going to get locked on by ring, and then the lightning breath is out. It's so much control and damage for very little risk. I don't know how you'd even capitalize on that on the side of Lost Vikings.
Okay, just waiting for a confirmation from both captains that we're ready to go. We can get into game 2 in this series, and there it is. We're going to be on our way to Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom.
And as I said earlier, LuBu, winners of game 1. They're going to get first hero, ban, and pick on this map picked by Minnesota Lost Vikings. So LuBu won the map that they chose. I wonder if we're going to see that same outcome from Minnesota Lost Vikings on their favored map here.
Well, I want to see if they're still going for those more tricky plays, or they wanted to do what LuBu did last time, take more conventional, just lockdown damage combos.
Garrosh and Kael'thas banned out. Deja vu a little bit.
I sympathize. I still have my post-it note of just characters I hate around banning.
Interesting that Minnesota Lost Vikings doesn't want to deal with that punishment that Kael'thas can give out against teams that bunch up a lot. And you do fight in tight confines on this map periodically around those objectives.
Absolutely.
The Asmodan ban. What do you think?
Asmo ban.
The Asmo ban. You heard it here
super
first,
annoying
folks.
character.
Annoying / effective. He can poke for days here, right?
Oh, it's poke, it's push, and you're almost a tank with how much health you have. It's just a character I hate playing against, so fully understand when people want to ban that character out.
There's the Jaina who did so well for them in game 1. We did see a Phoenix ban, by the way, in the first ban phase out of Minnesota Lost Vikings. No Chromies coming out. No Chromies banned. Will we see a Chromie? What do you think? Just for that poke on this map, probably Junkrat as well, right?
I don't know. Oh, they're securing the Diablo, though, and this Vikings liking that Diablo play.
Yes, Diablo, Rhaegar in the first Minnesota Lost Vikings rotation. Perhaps one reason why we're not seeing the Kael'thas. Couple of melee range heroes there.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Ready for action.
Dahaka 2 games in a row, and that Hoppy Muradin is going to be jumping around here, stunning people, slowing down auto attacks.
Looks like LuBu is pretty happy with what they had last time. They're just sort of, I mean, outside the Diablo being picked away from them, trying to get that same sort of synergy, that lockdown stun.
A lot of control on the side of LuBu here. Deckard Cain ban. Not outlandish at all. Deckard Cain considered to be extremely strong right now.
Casper's not seeing any sort of respect bans either. Usually game 2 you see someone
Yeah, good
someone
point.
get taken away favorites.
And Urel banned again. No Urel for sports fans in this particular matchup. Next rotation coming out from Minnesota Lost Vikings. What do you want to see them pick here?
For Lost Vikings, I want to see some more, like, Radar is open.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
And they're just like straight copying LuBu almost.
Oh, I like the Junkrat pick on this map for that endless poke around the objectives, especially during those 3 spawn objective phases. Can really buy time for his team so they can do business, say top, and then rotate down, or you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Genji, always dangerous. There is well, there's not really a lot of squish on the side of LuBu. Jaina, perhaps, depending on how she builds.
They're starting to counter that Genji. They
wait
blind,
is over.
stun.
They have a lot of control. LuBu does, for sure. The Uther's just going to accentuate that quality. Final pick from Minnesota Lost Vikings. They need another damage dealer, don't they? Or another frontline, actually. LuBu's
They do.
frontline is so beefy.
So beefy.
So... What?
Well,
Where will we end up this time?
Staying
Okay.
true to their team name. Minnesota Lost Vikings play the Lost Vikings on a great Lost Vikings map. Heyo. I like it.
okay. That is not what I would have anticipated.
I love it, staying
But here
true
they
to
are.
the team's theme. This should be a lot of fun, I think. Minnesota Lost Vikings on the Lost Vikings. It's real as we go into game number 2 between LuBu and the Minnesota Lost Vikings. Which comp are you liking the most?
That is a good question. I'm still leaning against LuBu this time still, because they essentially just counterpicked with the Genji, because that Genji cannot go in anymore if they dive on a Jaina. Assuming she's surrounded by Muradin and Uther, there's just so much lockdown and crap. It'd be really hard to get those assassinations off. It's going to come down to Lost Vikings, I think, and how they play. Because Vikings, in my experience, have 2 flavors. There's the dying every 2 seconds, or there's the super frustrating, almost game-winning Vikings.
Prepare.
Alright, let's hop into full screen game here. And you want to start off with blue?
On the side of LuBu, you have Uther, played by Streakwing. Dahaka, played by Alan Hicks. Jaina, played by Bandit. Cassia, played by VDZ. And Muradin by Makrota.
Alright, Minnesota Lost Vikings here. We have Rhaegar, played by Dirty Crowbar. Junkrat, played by Nightmare Twee.
4,
Diablo, played by Banana Crank and Genji,
1.
played by Tenuviel. And the Lost Vikings, played by Dagnirinum. Sorry about that. The tricky name there. I like it.
Mispronouncing names live on stream. Who does that?
How dare I?
Oh, this'll be good.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how LuBu deals with the Lost Vikings. It's not a hero that you tend to get a lot of games against, so it can be kind of tricky to suddenly execute a counter strategy here.
Yeah, especially in this kind of environment. Diablo finds Dahaka, wants to punish him a bit. Will get about 40% of their health. Probably nothing for Dahaka, though.
Minnesota Lost Vikings are just going to rotate bot and mid, it looks like. Staying grouped up, really taking advantage of the TLV all lane soaked quality. See if they can get some picks maybe. LuBu doing a good job of staying present in all the lanes without giving away any easy deaths.
Lost Vikings is really hungry in this game. They're starting to. They want to do to LuBu what LuBu did to them early game last in Dragonshire, where they're looking for picks very aggressively, and I like that. It's fun to watch.
They're on their map. They're on their namesake's hero. Their titular hero, we might say.
Oh, they do find Uther. Stun against the wall, body block coming with the
Rhaegar charge, but it's just not enough. Uther is going to escape with his life.
That Tahaka's tongue may have just saved the day there for him.
EDZ almost getting a kill on 1/3 of the
Oh.
Lost Vikings, but now is being chased.
Yes, yeah, rock in a hard place. Won't quite get away despite Uther's best efforts.
Will rise shortly, heroes. Be ready.
Vikings looking getting rewarded for their aggressive play.
The slimmest of XP leads for Minnesota Lost Vikings as we go into the first altar phase, 15 seconds away.
Don't
Really
think,
aggressive positioning here from Diablo. They're going to go ahead and aggress there, looking to take the left altar.
The Raven Lord demands it.
Will stop it. Are the Vikings really going to go for it? They're not letting LuBu have it.
BDZ fends off Junkrat there. Streakwings capturing that point and gets it.
Oh, Rhaegar, you animal! Diablo, no! Oh no!
Nice try though. I like the concept. They're really playing to their strategy here.
Oh boy!
It's just not paying off quite yet though. This first phase largely going to be rewarding LuBu here as they move in and take the siege camp after getting that momentum.
Lost Vikings flew too close to the sun at that capture point. Just Rhaegar doing everything they can to get in there and try and bite the butt of whoever was capturing. Ended up getting super separated from the team and bursted down along with Diablo. That's one way to go.
XP is so critical generally, but definitely on this map. There's a flip on VDZ, but Cassie's just gonna walk away. 200 health. Nice try there from Banana Kraken with that initiation.
That armor.
Yeah, as long as she's moving, she's healthier than she appears. But yeah, as long as Minnesota Lost Vikings can stay even on levels, it's anybody's game. When the death timers get long, that's when you can really have these comebacks that you see on this map. Get a couple of kills. On the enemy team, you have 35 seconds or more time to capture more than one altar. Anything's possible in this map because of that.
Oh, Meriden! You're in the wrong neighborhood, bud. They'll jump out, though. Leaving Jaina all alone to defend themselves in this harsh, harsh world.
Flip on Meriden and a charge, but he's gonna get out.
80
90,
health.
30, Genji.
Genji doing what a Genji does, picks up the kill. Even though it was a Junkrat confirmed. We all...
Yeah.
Genji was there.
The altars have risen.
You get a gold star, don't...
One of the Lost Vikings takes the bot altar and the mid one as well. So nice recovery from Minnesota Lost Vikings there, and they're actually up 32 to 28 with that level 9 to level 8 XP lead. LuBu has to be careful with this macro game. If they get... Go ahead.
They have to be really careful when these shrines come up because a Viking is going to be everywhere, so they can't leave that one to go like, you know, go have a full force team fight. Because if they leave any shrine alone, it's going to get picked up by Vikings. We really have to make sure they know they pick their fights carefully and positioning in that way.
Yep, and if Minnesota Up the Tongue comes out on Diablo, Unstoppable is used. Lots of Fen damage coming out, but Diablo's going to survive all of that.
Big boy healing coming from the flame strike there.
Got nice cleanse there from Uther as well. But if LuBu gets sucked into team fights for a long time, if Minnesota Lost Vikings can lull them into these single lane altercations, it's just going to be better and better for the Vikings.
Vikings 180 just to get the spray out before they run back behind the gate. Getting really cheeky there. Dahaka finds someone, but they don't got the fam with them right now. Won't get punished though. They're after bigger prey.
All right, we have a 2 altar phase starting right now.
Do not
Alan Hicks is trying to zone out one of the Vikings, but with a fight right next to the boss, Genji's gonna die.
Oh, after he finds a Diablo will push him maybe 2 inches back into a wall.
Rhaegar climbs onto the banana cranking. One of the Vikings dies. And it's 28 to 24 in favor of Minnesota Lost Vikings. No boss attempt there. Dirty Crowbar in a little bit of trouble here. Cassie giving chase for just a little bit.
Uh-oh. Thought they had a clean getaway there, but the Haka cut him off. Diablo dives in. Stun comes out. Not enough.
Heads up play there by Alan Hicks as Banana Crankin is going to go down as well. That's a 2-death moment in favor of LuBu as they again move forward here, and they're like, well, we're going to take this siege camp. It's just sitting here, low-hanging fruit.
It was a good awareness by Dahaka. Because I thought Rhaegar's definitely getting away there. It's like, dog form, can't keep up with them. But then, you know, here's this big monstrosity hanging out in a bush, a body block.
Alan Hicks with the play there. Nice tongue. But LuBu, looks like they wanted that bottom lane, but they couldn't quite get enough pressure.
The secret of the draft is starting to come out for Vikings here. They're getting some XP lead with the Vikings being left alone in their lanes.
Yeah, we're still 12 to 12. And it looks like while Alan Hicks caps that bottom altar, Minnesota Lost Vikings going for a boss play here. Dahaka does sniff it out though, ports in. But it's not going to matter. That's more core shots.
Just taking back that advantage they had. Plus the pumpkin snuck in, so their gate at top is looking really bare. Just 2 cannons and a wall.
The Lost Vikings are starting to group up. There's 2 of them bot lane here. As Rhaegar and Junkrat are missing from this quasi-teamfight situation here.
Dahaka just creeping around the corner waiting for Dahaka to overstep their boundaries. We'll go top just to clean up.
It's going to be a TLV death there. Diablo aggressing. Nice cleanse.
Oh!
Really quality cleanses coming out in this game. Bandit in trouble and dying. Junkrat getting the kill there. BDZ talking about some sort of glitches in the game.
From the depths.
I can see from their perspective why they think that, but what's happening is that the
On the
Valkyrie is
ultimate?
hitting a wall and not pulling them like through the wall.
And or cleanses, right? It looked like there was a cleanse in that last one, but I could have misconstrued.
I'll watch the replay footage real quick.
Oh, on stream, yeah. Alright, alters are activated.
Those cronies reach the altars before you.
Some zoning here from Banana Crankin and Dirty Crowbar will allow Tenuvial to capture that altar at bot.
Oh, it's gonna be a while for it comes up on stream. I'll keep my
Yeah,
eye.
2-minute delay.
I won't leave you all by your lonesome for that long.
Minnesota lost Vikings taking their siege camp. Dahaka doing the split push thing there. And bot lane
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core.
is a focus, as it so often is on this map, but that leaves one of the Vikings to soak alone in mid.
I've opened my tunnel as well.
Minnesota lost Vikings up 15-14 briefly, but now it's even again. LuBu doing a great job keeping up on the XP. And LuBu's going to take their own siege camp here for more pressure bot lane. They see a potential pick here in the middle. Yeah, Stun's going to secure it with the fend. But Minnesota lost Vikings can go ahead and clear that siege camp. Siege mercs pretty easily here. Uncontested, really.
The old
I did just watch that Valkyrie play. It looked like Diablo just got pushed into the well again, and I don't think Valkyrie pulls over terrain. I've never heard of that before.
I thought
So
I
I didn't
saw
have-
a cleanse in there too, but... Alright, we have level 16 talents on the side of Minnesota lost Vikings. They have just a slim moment here before 16s are hit by LuBu as well. Tongue comes out on Diablo. While
There we go.
Jane
There's the
attacks.
full range Valkyrie they're looking for.
There's the APOC, there's the ring. Ancestral on Junkrat. Diablo's super low. Banana Crankin gets a cleanse but still dies. Rhaegar is isolated and killed. That was potentially a very scary situation for LuBu with the ring and APOC, but they come out of it largely unscathed. 3 deaths on the side of Minnesota lost Vikings. LuBu's going to go ahead and push this all-important bottom lane. Once you take this bottom lane, it just gives you so much map tempo on this map. So they will take that.
has destroyed a fort.
That could have gone anywhere. We got tons of value out of the Junkrat Riptire combination and the Mayhem grenades on depth too. Also chunked down LuBu quite a bit, but is not enough, man.
It's a nice tongue into a stun play on Genji. Fortunately for Genji, did have his escape. That was a scary moment there for the ninja. But we have some potential core shots marching along in the form of these pumpkin mercs. They're right at the threshold. Nice tongue on one of the Vikings. Riptire comes out.
Is that and anyone? Oh, Diablo just acted like a raid boss sitting in all of it. Will go down. Nothing for those two to do.
Quality fend there. Nice vision from VDZ to secure that kill on Rhaegar. Out comes
LuBu
a
finds a
stun.
wild lost Viking just hanging out in the middle of nowhere.
In my
But this may be gonna one secure tower. Oh, they canceled the capture. Oh no, the last Vikings just spaghetti that free shrine at top.
Out comes the APOC. Tongue on Genji. And he is blown up by Cassia. Cassie getting some really high quality fend moments here. This could be a boss play. Probably should be a boss play. VDZ is capturing the other altar up here.
Pretty much all of LuBu is healthy and ready. They're here. There's no reason to not go for boss. It's actually it'll be game, right? They take it.
It's 4 shots, so it'll be down to 1 for Minnesota Lost Vikings.
How is 4? Oh, it's 5 so weird.
Close but no cigar. Not quite yet. LuBu's doing a really great job on macro in their own right. They've really controlled these siege camps spot lane throughout the entire game.
Well, Towers of Doom is not over till it is over. There's been plenty of situations of people winning on 1 single core health. So maybe, you know, Vikings is out of this yet. They have full control of their map again. They're gonna lose the top pumpkins, but that's not so bad.
They did retake bot, so that's looking good for them. And we're at 19s apiece. No huge XP lead for either team. And yes, it's 12-1, but on this map, with this kind of parity in terms of XP levels and whatnot, it could go either way. Minnesota Lost Vikings taking their siege camp. Are we going to see an invade here?
I don't know.
No?
They have to do something because they can't lose a single shrine at this point.
And this is a 2 altar phase. We have 7 seconds before that starts, and here we go, folks. 2 seconds. Diablo starting off with the charge. Tongue is missed by Dahaka. Ring comes out. APOC already used. Ancestral's a little too late on Diablo. Genji and Diablo both dead. Rhaegar dead.
Do it, Junkrat. Make the play of the century.
And with a couple of Viking kills, actually all 3, play again came out, but too late.
Ah, that'll be it.
GG. LuBu successfully defending against Minnesota Lost Vikings. Lost Vikings pick to take a 2-0 domination in the match. Congrats to LuBu. Well played by Minnesota Lost Vikings. In both matches, I wouldn't say that either one of these games was anywhere near a blowout. How about you, Beef?
I'm grabbing
Are you
my
gathering
iPad
your
right now.
thoughts?
Yes, physically, I had to go collect them over the room because my mind just got blown.
Blown by the TLV game. 18 kills to 5 in favor of LuBu. They just had the team fight on their side this time. Even though, well, I guess it's pretty tough if TLV is split out doing a lot of things. It's tough to make up that difference if it's 5v4 in those team fights.
No, actually, I was going to agree with you. The scorecards themselves don't look great, especially with the kill disparity, 18-5. But they were at no point like totally just shut out. They always had, you know, they still had some kind of way to come back. Or the Lost Vikings there did a really good job. 28,000 experience, just keeping Minnesota Lost Vikings alive during that whole game in terms of experience.
Looks like can line up an interview with Streakwing from LuBu. So let's see if we can go ahead and get that started here. Let's hop over to one of the NGS lobbies.
Sure.
All right. Fantastic match here. Oh, hello. I think we have Streakwing on the line right now.
Hello.
Congrats on your 2-0 domination.
Yeah, thank you. My last game was super close.
And super fun for us to watch. It was neat to see. Well, I mean, what do you think of that Lost Vikings pick?
Definitely threw us for a curveball. I mean, they're very good on that map, but I don't think I've seen Lost Vikings picked a single time in Division D except for that game. Maybe they were, but
Yeah,
it was unexpected, and I think it worked well for them. We just got a little lucky towards the end, maybe even. I'm honestly not that sure.
yeah, it's a good map for TLV
Oh, yeah,
for
for sure.
sure. Yeah, so but it was nice to see them sort of work their namesake there on their map choice. So that was fun. But maybe you could talk about your response to the TLV in terms of macro play, because it seemed to me that you did a great job keeping level parity and had some real strong play with Merc camps, for example, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the Dahaka pick helped a lot with that.
Hmm.
With us being able to make sure that if we did end up rotating, that every lane was covered with Burrow, or especially when we were taking camps. They had a strong rotate, obviously, because they had lost Vikings. But
Right.
with Dahaka having Burrow, we still didn't have to feel like we were taking any big chances if we went for our camps,
Hmm.
because we could still make it the 4v4 or something while we 3-man rotated if we had to fight there.
Right.
And we got a couple times we killed the Vikings in lane while they were solo soaking. I think that helped a decent amount, but that didn't happen as often as we would have liked.
Yeah, I definitely got picks on them here and there. I was also really impressed by your team fighting in that game. Did you approach team fighting in comms any differently, perhaps, with that TLV, the 5v4s that you were going into quite often? Did that shape how you approached that phase of the game, that part of the game? Or did you just kind of do your
Yeah,
thing?
we definitely came to the conclusion that I agree with what you said earlier, that we did well against their macro for the most part, but they definitely started to pull ahead, and we just kind of came with the mentality that we have to have team fights because we think we can win those. And then I think we just got a little lucky that around the same time we made that mental switch, it was a single altar phase. And we had the fight there and won that altar. And then from there, we had decent control over the game, I think.
Yeah, eventually you even took that bot lane
Mm-hmm.
and so on, yeah. So, but Beef, what do you have on your mind for either game?
Yeah, for game 2 actually, since that was sort of an interesting, interesting picks, interesting plays. Did you get any reaction from when they had the Diablo Rhaegar first picks?
Yeah, we definitely felt like that's one way to have full bans against us was the pick Diablo Rhaegar, but we feel pretty comfortable with most tanks and most supports. We've just been picking those lately. But we definitely had a big reaction in chat because it did feel like a little bit of a respect pick, although it worked well in their comp as well.
Yeah, not only that, but they also copied the paradigm of the looking for picks, going in there, getting the dives,
Yeah.
and then so it's like
They went Junkrat immediately after that as well, so we were like, oh, this looks familiar. We too like this team.
What an interesting coincidence.
So, is this the end of round 1 for you? Looks like
Yes.
it might be.
It
And
is.
you're doing pretty well. I'm looking at, well, you're 6-0 now, it looks like. Is that right?
Yes, that is.
Ooh, how you feeling?
We obviously feel pretty good about that. We've had a lot of close games.
Okay.
So I don't think that we're standing at 1 because we're for sure 1 in any of the regards here. But we obviously feel good about that. Our mentality is of how to treat this league has shifted drastically. We went in excited. This is our first time at NGS, really first time even playing as 5, and we were like, we just want to win 1 game.
Right.
And now I have no idea what to expect, honestly.
It's a fantastic start to the season 5 for you. 3 dominations. So definitely putting your division on notice here. So congrats. I don't know. Did you want to give any shout outs before we let you go?
Sure. Shout out to the team who played good. Shout out to the Vikings who also played excellent. Thank you guys for casting. Shout out to family and any LuBu fans that might be watching in chat. And that's it. They were good games.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Yeah, highly entertaining. Really happy to cast this set. So congrats again on your 3rd domination. And good luck for the rest of the season. You had something to say, Beef?
No, I was just saying good games.
Thank you.
All right, short and sweet. Thanks for the interview as well. GG's.